Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moving on to item number 3, roll call.
Mayor Mendez,
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Garnica,
Present.
Councilmember Brogy,
Here.
Councilmember Villaseñor,
Here.
Councilmember Rodriguez.
Here.
Perfect, thank you. Moving on to number 4, approval of the agenda. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, opposed? All right, motion passes. Moving on to item number 5, presentations. And tonight, we have a presentation by the Interface Children and Family Services City. Welcome.
Hello, thank you so much. Nice to see everybody again. I'm Kelly Brown, and I'm from Interface Children and Family Services. Our office is in Camarillo, but we serve the entire county. I've been with Interface now, this is my 16th year, and I oversee several programs, one of those being the 211 Information and Referral Line. Our 211 Information and Referral Line has about 75,000 contacts per year for Ventura County. But overall, we take about 300,000 calls per year and text messages. We are one of the largest 211s in the country. Ventura County actually serves 36 counties of California. So 211 Ventura County, as I said, we are a program of Interface Children and Family Services. Interface is a multi-service agency, as you know. We have a comprehensive suite of programs, including human trafficking services, domestic violence, reentry justice services, mental health services, and more. This is actually our 20th year for 211 in Ventura County. We were the first 211 in the state of California, and we're excited about that still. So 211 Information and Referral program. What we do is we have all of the listings of the different health and social services programs in the county. People can call us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and they can talk to a navigator who will talk to them about whatever's going on, unique situations in their home. They can also text us as well by texting their zip code to 898211. And we have listings for all different types of things. And I'm going to go through tonight what the top needs are for Fillmore. So in 2025, we had contact with 395 Fillmore residents. 111 of those residents were first-time callers. 51 of those were families that had children under 5. 11 of those people were pregnant when we were talking to them. 18 were at risk of homelessness, and 30 of them were currently homeless when we were speaking with them. Whenever we are talking to somebody who has housing insecurity, which is the top need for Fillmore, we actually are part of the continuum of care and can do HMIS entry over the phone. That's the Homeless Management Information System with the County of Ventura, where we can help people to get prioritized for low-income housing and shelter services. The second biggest need that was coming in 2025 was income support and assistance, and then legal, consumer, and public safety services. We saw a rise in the legal, consumer, and public safety services across the county, and the reason for that is for immigration-related information and services. Individual, community, family, and community support, and then disaster services. And of course, whenever disasters are happening here in the county, 211 can help to direct people to understand if they're in an evacuation zone, if they need to go to a shelter, where that's located, and how to apply for services if they have a damage or lost their home. This slide I always include so that if you wanted to look at it in more detail later on, you can actually compare your needs with other cities here in the county. You'll see that you're similar to many of the other counties cities. We do have other special projects that we do, and one of those is CalAIM. So we do have a CalAIM team under the 211 program. This is a program from the Medi-Cal program, Gold Coast Health Plan. Whenever a caller calls into 211, we are able to screen them to see if they have Medi-Cal and if they may actually qualify for enhanced care management. And under the enhanced care management, we can get them connected to a case manager that will help them to actually apply for services, even take them to appointments, and to really follow up to make sure that they're not just receiving the phone number for a resource, but they're actually have somebody that is going along with them to make sure that they get actually connected to those services. And the medical kitchen is an example of one of those where we are able to connect callers if they have medical needs that are exacerbated, the medical condition exacerbated by not having access to healthy food. We're able to help to get free food delivery to their home for 7 days a week for 6 months at a time. We also have a contract with Southern California Edison. So during what's called a PSPS, Public Safety Power Shutoff, I know that this is something that affects your area. Whenever there's a Santa Ana wind event going on and they proactively turn off the power to prevent wildfires, people can call 211. We can connect them with free hotel rooms if they have if they're medically dependent on electricity. We can actually get them connected to free hotel rooms, food delivery, transportation, other different types of services that can help them stay safe and healthy until the power is back on in their home. We're also with the Civil Rights Department for the state, part of California versus Hate, our program Ventura versus Hate. If somebody encounters a hate crime or a hate incident, we can help them to actually file a report for that and to get ongoing services so that they can recover. That's the end of my presentation, but if you have questions, I would love to answer them.
Sure. Just on the previous slide.
Sure.
I just noticed on the previous slide, I didn't know what the acronym ECM stood for.
Enhanced Care Management, that's the program where you can get a free case manager to help you under the Medi-Cal program so that you can get connected to all different types of health and social services. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like in-person 211 where you have a case manager that will actually help you to fill out applications, take you to doctor's appointments. If you are not applying for services or programs because you don't have a driver's license, taking you to the DMV so that you can fill those paperwork out and things like that, getting birth certificates and all that. So absolutely.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Not a question, but just a comment on the enhanced care management. It's so wonderful that 211 is doing that. And I remember working in this field over a dozen years ago, and we just wanted a warm handoff, right?
Yeah.
Just not a phone number. Like, talk to somebody but this goes even beyond that to stay with them. And it's just critical to, I think, people actually getting those services and utilizing them. So thank you for that.
It's when we follow up with people that call 211, the number one reason they didn't get connected to services is because they were so overwhelmed they didn't even call.
Yeah.
So sometimes somebody really does need someone to
Right.
go along with them, or just to call them and encourage them, or go into their home and really just sort of motivate them. So
Yeah, these systems can be complex and intimidating, and this is very, very helpful to them.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
I have
Sorry.
one question.
Yeah.
Going back to your introduction, I don't know if I heard this correctly, but I thought I heard you say that Ventura County 211 actually provides services to 36 other counties.
Yes, we do. So
these
our
counties-
211 is the largest 211 in the nation. We cover the most population. We take calls for 36 of the counties in California. So we're here 24/7 in person in Camarillo taking those calls. And we provide support to even other states when they're having emergencies because our team has that kind of experience.
Well, so I'm assuming then you have connections for all these different services in all these other counties and states too. that you
Yes.
refer to.
Our actual resource database has 10,000 records in it that we can connect people to that's across the state.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, moving on to item number 6, public comments. And this time is for items, give the opportunity for the public to give feedback on items not on the agenda. And we have several speaker cards. First up is George Iofree. Welcome, George. Thank you for coming.
Hello. By the way, I was an employee at City of Oxnard as a network engineer for about 24 years, just retired. And anyway, I did I was working city council meetings and doing that. Anyway, I'm the person who supplied you all with the pictures of Fine Street. I was just getting a little concerned because, I mean, the way the street is in those pictures, you can see that it's starting to really deteriorate. And I just wanted to make sure that was, put to light and could maybe, good. I don't know the others. I don't know anything about any other locations, but there probably is a lot. But I'm just wanted to make sure that this is looked at and maybe repaved. There's another part of Fine Street with all the houses built in the 40s, and those they have a nice street. At least it's still in good shape. Then when it gets past 4th Street and going toward a cul-de-sac, that street is just horrible. So, and I just wanted to make sure that you knew about it, and it could take some priority if possible. Just thanks.
Thank you so much. Our next public speaker is Gabe Candelario. Gabe, you have 3 minutes. Okay?
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Gabe Candelario, and I serve as the Juvenile Justice Programs Manager at One Step a la Vez, and I'm a lifelong resident of Fillmore. One Step a la Vez is an eating reporting center, which basically means that we're a center that's open in the evening time for youth to come by and participate in positive programming. Our Next Step program there at One Step a la Vez comes through us through Ventura County Probation Agency. So youth that are referred over to our program benefit from all of the services that are provided at One Step a la Vez, including hot meals, mentoring, independent living skills, workshops, and also transportation to and from home and school. Additionally, those enrolled in the Next Step program are provided with individualized case management to help them navigate through their probation terms. And our goal is that for every youth to complete their probation. I also serve as a facilitator at One Step a la Vez for groups. Some of the groups come through us through a program called the National Compadres Network, whose philosophy is that through the cultural teachings, we can all heal as a community. I currently am running talking circles at One Step a la Vez with the teens. In these circles, we check in to see how we're doing throughout the day, but our main goal is to really kind of focus on the positivity that's going on in everyone's life. During these groups, it's very easy for the teens to be like, oh, this sucks, but like we really try to like focus in on like, okay, but like what else is going great in your life, so that we try to leave in a better space than when we came into it. The circles also allow the youth to open up, and they're open to all of the teens there. Another program that's run through there as well too, that I help facilitate, is our Joven Noble program, or Noble Youth. It comes through us as well through the National Compadres Network, and that program is a 12-session curriculum, and it's based, or its goal is to help the character development of teens. Lastly, I also serve as I serve as the coordinator for the Youth Advisory Council, or YAC for short. This is a program that's designed for teens with lived experience dealing with the justice system. It could be their own personal experience, or a loved one, like if they grew up and their parent were in and out of jail, and so that affected their lives. We really just try to make sure that we help develop stronger relationships with law enforcement. And our goals through our YAC are to allow the youth to voice their experiences and advocate for change, and like I said, build those healthier relationships with law enforcement and first responders. Last year, we were actually able to host a number of events, not just in Fillmore, but also throughout the county, where we invited the community and our first responders to participate and come together and just get to know one another. We're hoping to do that again within the next 6 months, so I'll be sure that, I'm sure I'll be back soon to invite you guys all. And I wish I could show you guys videos. It's available on our website. Check it out. Thank you, and I'm done.
Our next speaker is Hector Magaña. Welcome, Hector.
Thank you, appreciate that. Hello, my name is Hector Magaña, and I currently serve as the Teen Center Manager at One Step a la Vez. I just want to add a little bit more to what Gabriel was talking about, and I want to invite you guys to receive a tour of our amazing Teen Center. Our Teen Center is a after-school teen wellness center, and we are a safe space for teens in our local town. We serve teens ages 13 to 19, and we are open Monday through Friday from 1 to 7 p.m. So we currently have teens there, but I invite you guys to come on over. We'll give you guys a tour, offer the services, show you guys the services that we currently have. Gabe mentioned a few, but we have a lot more going on, including in the Teen Center and our hours of operation. We do have daily hot meals, transportation home, tutoring services, academic and career support, field trips, power hour activities, which are 3 times a week. We also have leadership development, recreational space, and independent life skills workshops. So those are some of the things that we do throughout the week. I also wanted to take the time today to highlight an amazing program that we were able to complete thanks to a grant that we received. This opportunity, I'm sure, changed the lives of many around our lovely community. And thanks to the collaboration of One Step a la Vez with the Economic Development Collaborative of Ventura County, we were able to host and instruct basic computer skills for youth and families here in Fillmore. So our initial purpose was to help community members on how to use a computer, navigate it without any difficulty. So during this great opportunity of growth for our community members, we were able to have 40 participants, which reached our initial goal. In fact, we filled the spaces in one day by only promoting it during one of our food pantries. So those spaces were filled quickly. We were able to have 8 youth participate and 32 adults, which we divided into 2 different cohorts, one in Spanish, one in English, to help everybody. Regarding the adults, we had 4 who ranged from the ages of 18 through 39. We had 20 who ranged from the ages of 40 to 69, and we had 8 surpassing the age of 70. Wow. So we were able to help a lot of different age ranges of members of our community. This opportunity will help our community members navigate systems as we are merging from paper applications into fully online softwares. So we're able to do that opportunity. We're also, once the 40 members completed that, they were able to receive a free laptop, a Chromebook that they were able to take home for their needs. So that's something very, very amazing. We hope that in the future we are able to receive more grants like this to help out our community. So yeah, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Hector. And lastly, but not least, we have Pedro Chavez.
All right. Good evening, Mayor Mendez. First and foremost, congratulations on the opportunity you've been given to serve the people of Fillmore. And I'd like to say congratulations again to Cristina Villaseñor for the amazing productive year that you had during your tenure, and welcome the newest council member, Mr. Rodriguez, to the dais. My name is Pedro Chavez. I'm the executive director of One Step a la Vez. We are a youth development organization here, founded in 2007 by a lovely lady that's right over here. We serve about 300 teens annually. We have various innovative programs and services that we provide, not only the teens or families, but also the community. I wanted to make sure that you received the information that includes the food pantry that we offer twice a month on the 2nd and the 4th of the month, and our next one is tomorrow. And I've also included a report that gives you data about who we're serving and the value we bring to this community. As you can see, we served over 6,600 people in the community and out of 1,800 households. And so the pantry is really an opportunity for us as One Step Alaves to teach young people about the value of service. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the partnership that we have with our police department, Captain Lalo, and always is sending officers to assist. And again, it's something that is very important to our community, especially in distressed times. Our first food share, like I said, for the year kicks off next month. We have normally around 125, 140 families that come, and we also provide emergency delivery for those that are not able to come through One Step Alaves. So again, I'd like to invite you all, if you haven't had the opportunity to come and get to know us, to join us. Just come on by, again, to our food pantry. You can see the carrying power of communities in action. I'll end by just acknowledging, and One Step Alaves is really an anchor in this community. They have done so much, and they've created future leaders. And one of those leaders, I believe, is sitting on your dais. There's many other leaders that are sitting in positions across this county. And so there's something really magical when you invest and help youth grow, develop, and learn by providing the mentoring they need to and be a positive space for them. So again, thank you for the time. And again, we're always available for collaboration and partnership. And we hope that the city would promote the food distribution through your social media. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pedro.
Mayor, may I ask just one question?
Sure.
It's a clarifying question, and that is about Pyru. I know you had mentioned about the youth have an ability to get a ride to and from. Does that include Pyru?
Yes, not only does it include Pyru, but it also includes Santa Paula. So we try to serve the entire Santa Clara River Valley, Santa Paula, Fillmore, Pyru, and the areas around. Bardstown is included there. So yes, we are available and accessible for anybody in the area.
That's great. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else? Okay, moving on to item number 7, City Council reports, recommendations, comments, committee, commission, and board reports. And I'll start off, last Thursday, I attended as the alternate for the Ventura Council of Governments. The agenda was pretty light, but we did have a wonderful presentation by the Chancellor of the Ventura County Community College District, and he gave an overall status of what the district is doing and what's to expect in the future. And they did email us, was it today, Carrie? Email of the presentation, so I can share it with you all if you guys would like. I can send it to Erica and she can send it to us all. There was a air pollution control board meeting, but unfortunately my granddaughter's arrival came late, so I was unable to attend, but I will definitely attend next month. Okay? That's all from my report. Anybody else?
I have a couple things to report out. Thank you, Mayor. Let's see. In terms of committees I'm on, my Ventura Regional Sanitation District meeting is this coming Thursday, so I'll have more to report at the next meeting. Also, a couple of upcoming things. On January 29th, this is not an official meeting of the Fillmore City Council or the City of Fillmore, but some of us council members at any point in time are sometimes asked to be a part of different city committees just to hear what's going on. Community meetings to know what's going on. And so on January 29th, I've been invited to an informal meeting with the landowner and other stakeholders. This is the landowner at Halleck and 126 regarding, again, the potential future site for a new Santa Paula hospital or a new iteration of what that may be. So I'm looking forward to hearing about that. And again, this is not in any official city capacity, but just keeping my ear to the ground, as you could say. Along with that, also, I've been invited to join a meeting with our newly appointed, our Senate pro tempore of the California Senate, Monique Limon, who is our representative senator. She is now the leader of the California State Senate. And of course, there's a lot of folks who now, even more so, would like Senator Limon's ear. And this group is particularly talking about housing as we heard from our 211 presentation, housing is still such a critical need in Ventura County and across the state. So this, again, informal meeting is to talk to Senator Pro Tempore Limon and try to see about some future action for a statewide housing bond if there's political will there. So I'm curious and I'm hopeful about that. Again, this is not an official city capacity, but just letting you know. What is happening here in the city, 2 weeks from tomorrow is it's Wednesday, let me pull this up here, the 28th. The Ventura County, and I think nationwide, we are doing our homeless point-in-time count. And that's where we, across the county, volunteers go out to the local communities to physically see, observe, and count our homeless and to do a survey with them. Hopefully not just observational, but actually talking to them and filling out information. And this annual count helps to, one, keep a census of our homeless population, and that in turn, this data that's collected, again, goes to the state and to our federal government, and hopefully we can continue to have resources, again, to serve our homeless, and to eventually, again, the goal is to move our homeless, into housing. So that's happening in 2 weeks. There is information about it, and I'll share that with fellow council members. I know we have some city staff who are volunteering as well, and I think they can always use more volunteers. So I can share that information. We'll have it officially through the city if there's any community volunteers who'd like to come. And they always need Spanish speakers, and this is not just in Fillmore, but Santa Paula and other areas too. Let me see here. Just wanted to remind folks, I have talked to a few people about they have an issue, maybe it's a code enforcement type issue, and also hearing on social media and online, just to remind folks that if there is a particular issue that could be something related or is something related to code enforcement, to actually go to our city code enforcement webpage. We are contracted with a new code enforcement agency, Greenleaf? Four Leaf, and our new code enforcer is doing a tremendous job of following up. And so, again, just a reminder to the public that there is a form, there is a method to go about and to file an official complaint. And it cannot be anonymous. You have to give your information. But again, we hear a lot about we want things to change or something's a bother. That's the proper channels to go about it. So it's a reminder about that. And then my last thing is a suggestion, actually, it was even prompted by One Step coming today and sharing their food distribution list I already had on my list. And I think I'd mentioned it previously. There's several food distributions in our town. There's One Step, there's our food share that's over by St. Francis, there's Sembradores Church, and I think there's one or two more. So it would be really helpful, I think, to our community to have a matrix, and so that we could just know, so that our community can know what food shares and food pantries are happening on what days and what times. And I would just suggest to start with maybe the Santa Paula, I think it's called the Social Services Coalition that meets. They might already have a matrix, at least in Santa Paula, and maybe we can go off of that. So that's what I've got.
Thank you.
Okay, first, thank you to our mayor for filling in for me at the VCOG meeting. I appreciate you doing that at the spur of the moment. I gave him like 2 hours notice, so I appreciated you doing that. And then I attended the Ventura County Transportation Commission meeting on Friday, and it ran for actually several hours, partly because on the agenda was the presentation on the Santa Paula branch line bike trail. And if you haven't been following this has been going on since, I want to say, the late 90s, early 2000s, I believe, is when they first came up with the idea of putting a bike path parallel to the train track. And they're finally starting to make movement on it and getting input from the community. There have been several community meetings soliciting input from citizens and from our ag community, because as we know, the train track runs through all the ag properties. So I'm just bring this out right now to the community's attention because there will be additional community meetings, and they really want to do this right. We don't want to make it difficult for ag community, obviously, and there are different ways of running the bike path, which I think will be such a huge thing. The bike path will actually run from, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Kevin, from Ventura, I mean, all the way out to east of Piru even. So it'll be a huge bike path and walking path. So again, there are issues because of the ag community and going through ag property. So they're trying to work out the kinks on that. So keep your ears and eyes open for that. So, and then also I'm scheduled to, there's a Zoom meeting coming up that has piqued my interest on e-bikes, and it's hosted by the League of California Cities, and they're going to talk about all the legislation or pending legislation on how to, we need rules and regulations for this. And ironically, today I did receive a phone call from one of the business owners on Central who almost got hit by a bicyclist, a child, young teen, preteen, on the sidewalk, almost knocked him over. And so he called me and said, we got to do something about this. So the timing was, like I said, we just coming up on this Zoom meeting, and I'm going to have more information. But it's something that I think as council we need to keep tabs on. And I know that we do have some things on the books, but I think we need to really monitor this. I'm hearing complaints from everybody, especially about the e-bikes and kids not wearing helmets. It's enforcement. So anyway, and then also I just wanted to mention that my usual porch talk, which follows council meetings, so it's normally scheduled tomorrow night. It's not going to be tomorrow night. I'm going to postpone it to one night next week. So I'll have that information out on social media on my porch talk that I have to move to next week. So that's it. Thank you.
Councilmember Rodriguez?
Yeah, I would like to say a couple of things. So first and foremost, I like that you mentioned, Christina, about language and Spanish interpretation and things. So after walking around and getting to know my constituents and just people around the city, some of the feedback that I mentioned when I invited them to attend our council meeting, whether it's in person or YouTube, they mentioned that they don't really have much of an interest because they don't understand of the language that we're using, or even just that they're Spanish speaking. And so one of the things that I would like to see if we can look into in our future agendas is seeing if we can translate our council meetings in Spanish so all of our registered voters and residents who are Spanish speaking can also be aware of the decisions that are being made here in the city. And so that's something that I will love to see in the future agendas, hopefully sooner than later. But with that in mind, I am planning so for everyone to know, I am planning a meet and greet little town hall here at District 1 coming soon. Towards the end of February, early March. And this is more like a meet and greet for everyone within District 1 to know who I am and a little bit more about the city. So yeah, just stay tuned, and once I get more details and get the flyer going, I'm going to share it with everyone on my social media page and just residents there so they can spread the word.
Thank you. Councilmember Garnica?
Yeah, so my report's going to be very short. So the meeting that was for the Fillmore Piru groundwater basin has been canceled for Thursday, so it's going to be delayed until next month. And that's pretty much it, other than, I guess, the Christmas caroling that we all did. So that was fun. But other than that, not much on my end.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to item number 8, consent calendar. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Okay, we got a motion.
I'll second.
Do I have a second? Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? No. Motion passes unanimous. Thank you. And moving on to number 9, new business. 9A, approval of a contract with Clifton Larson Allen LLP, certified public accountants to provide auditing and financial statements, preparations, and services. Deborah?
So good evening, council members, Mayor Mendez. I'm Deborah Cavaletto, Finance Director. Item 9A has staff recommending that City Council approve the audit services contract to Clifton Larson Allen, or CLA, allocate additional appropriations as outlined in the staff report, and authorize the city manager to execute the contract in a form approved by the City Attorney's Office. An annual independent audit is conducted to ensure whether the city's financial position, internal controls, and compliance with various laws and regulations are in check. Our last audit award was in 2019, where CLA, which is formerly White, Nielsen, I think DeLay, and Evans, was selected. As outlined in the staff report, California Code requires an audit rotation of public accounting firms providing services if the lead partner, coordinating partner, or audit partner have performed audit services for 6 consecutive years with the agency. Also, it is beneficial for an agency to seek audit service proposals periodically. Our RFP began in October 2025, resulting in 4 firms being selected. After a review of an evaluation of a 100-point score on the proposals, we then invited all 4 to participate in remote interviews. The overall evaluation to decide selection was based, among things, cost, experience, technical knowledge, working with similar agency or dynamics, and the ability to serve the city's current project requirements. Currently, the city is now just nearing completion of significant internal cleanup efforts and outstanding state reporting requirements. After the proposal evaluation, interviews, and reference checks with other cities and agencies, we concluded that that CLA is the best choice to provide the services. CLA, among others, has provided quality work with the city, has extensive experience and knowledge, and has the ability to work remotely with already established technology, and also have the ability to come on site if required. With this selection, a new team will be performing the audit. Therefore, and we have confirmed that this new team has not worked with the city for the 6 years as government code, and so therefore it will be in compliance with the government code. This item meets the City Council's goal in the area of financial management. This is the end of my presentation, and I'm available for questions.
Okay, questions?
Yes, Deborah, can you go into a little bit more depth? I know that they weren't the lowest bid. Can you go into a little bit about discussing why their proposal was deemed the best, even though they weren't the lowest bid?
With them, they had, again, the expert experience that they had for overall experience of the team, as well as they have actually already established in the technology is very important for the remote technology. And then for looking at our needs, our current needs, because right now, as you know, we are still, as it mentioned, that we are still in the process of getting our internal controls established, and also updating and we're getting our requirements for state requirements in in real time now, and therefore they fit the best with our needs at this time. And if you look at overall the time and effort that we take, if we had to establish with a new audit firm, the amount of money compared to the time and effort and to establish it would be basically marginal in cost. And I also did the evaluations to other cities, and thanks for the music. Or is that my walk-off music where you go like, thank you, good night? And also, too, they did have a good evaluation from other, when I did my reference checks.
So just to follow up on that, so what I'm kind of hearing you say is, even though we're going to have new auditors within that firm, the fact that we have some continuity within the same larger firm is the value add, is kind of what I'm hearing. Is that
Yes,
pretty accurate?
Yes, yes, without having an issue that could, affect our audit.
Okay,
and so.
great. Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, Councilmember Garnica, because I was going to ask the same question. But thank you. So no other questions? So seeing none, can I have a motion, please?
I'd like to move that we do the following three things. First, allocate additional appropriations of $6,050 from the Water Fund operating reserves to account number, code number 302-4847-0021-211, $12,600 from the Sewer Fund operating reserves to account code 301-4838-0021-211, and $13,625 from the General Fund operating reserves to account code 101-420-4847-0021-211 to the fiscal year 25-26 adjusted budget. Second, that we approve a contract for a 3-year period with an option for an additional 2 years with Clifton Larson Allen LLP, a CPA firm, for audit and financial statement preparation services. And number 3, authorize the city manager to execute the contract in a form approved by the city attorney's office.
Thank you. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Nays? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Deborah. Can we have our music cue? Okay, moving on to item 9B, discussion of whether to increase the city council's salaries, recommendation, and recommendations.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll be making the presentation on this one, and the city manager will help me if there are questions I can't answer. This item is for the council to discuss whether to increase the current salary from $600 a month, and that would be effective January 1st, 2027. So this is a periodic item that comes before the council, as the council is authorized by statute to have, for a population this size, up to $950 a month for salary, and then that can be increased with COLAs of up to 5% per year. You're not allowed to build in annual COLAs. You have to every time adopt an ordinance, and the ordinance can only take effect after a new council is sworn in. So in Fillmore's case, there's an election this November. The new council will be sworn in December, and so then this raise could be effective next January. So the council can set its salary anywhere it wants on the spectrum between 0 and the $950 with the COLAs. Some cities do keep them lower. Some cities every year increase them to the maximum amount. Fillmore historically has been on the low side. They've been at $300, which was the floor of the old statute. But that was about 25 years old, that statute. Although it did have COLAs, the council chose not to take them. The legislature was very specific when it enacted a new law in 2023, effective in 2024, that they thought the minimums should be increased across the board and by population size. So again, it went from 300 to 950 for a city the size of Fillmore. And it was because, as you all know, council members spend an awful lot of time performing services as council members. And so even though this isn't really like a typical salary, it is meant to somewhat provide a stipend for parking, childcare, elder care, just your time that you're not with your family or doing what you want, because it is such a big undertaking. So it's our annual conversation about whether the council wants to have an increase, because you're currently at 600, which is less than 2/3 of the floor allowed now for a city this size. So please discuss, let us know if you have any questions, and provide direction. Thank you.
Sorry. I do have a question. Did you say it's less than 2/3 of the floor?
Because the minimum, well, you can set it, you're allowed to set it at 950 plus 5% COLAs every year.
I see what you're saying.
So,
Okay.
you know, in theory, we could have set it at 950 in 2024 and then already had a couple of COLAs.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Discussions?
Well, I don't know if you sent the information, Erica, so I'd asked the question about like-sized cities and what they currently pay their city councils. And I don't know, did that go out to the rest of the city council, Erica?
I sent it to you, and then I compiled all the questions I received from everyone and shared it with the entire council.
Okay. So, so I don't know what you guys thought about that, but it seemed to me like it was pretty fair, given the size of the other cities that we were in comparison to. I thought there were several cities that were at 600. So again, these were all cities that were less than 35,000 population, from what I remember of the chart. And I think the low was 0. So I think there was one that had 0, and then there were several that were like 200 or 300, and then kind of a grouping at around 500 to 700. And I think there was maybe one that was close to the max. And is that your recollection, guys? I don't know.
Well, I just want to say that just in response to what you were saying, John, about the numbers you received when asked about those stipend amounts, am I right, Tiffany, is that those numbers could be outdated and it was prior to the new law passed by the legislature that you were just talking about?
Right.
Okay.
Because they were 2024 numbers, so that's what they're getting paid at the time. And if you could only elect to increase it in 2024, it wouldn't have kicked in until the next election, which would have been 2026 probably.
Okay.
Unless some cities saw that legislation was coming and prophylactically tried to increase theirs, but probably right now, not many, if any of them, had reviewed the new law and responded to that. So it's
Okay.
possible that those have been increased in the last year and a half or so.
Right. Okay, so just want to make sure you understood that, John. Those numbers are probably
2 years old, or
Couple-
a year old at
well,
least.
and low.
Because based on the old
Potentially.
Right.
formula, which had the 300 and then the annual increases, so they were generally lower than you'll find now.
Yeah.
But I think my point still stands that it seemed to me that based on that comparison data, we were right in the middle of the pack. We weren't at the top, we weren't at the bottom, we were right in the middle of the similar sized cities. And is that kind of how you guys read it?
For at that time, I think is
At
what.
that time, for
right.
2024.
So our increase of 600 was part of the data that we had already done that when we moved from 300 to 600?
So the report it's a report that's, we as an agency have to report every year. Unfortunately, the data is 2 years old because the state manages that site, so it's a government compensation California reporting site. If you look at the data I sent you, Fillmore still had the old stipend, which was 300 from 24, because the increase did not go into effect until after in 25. But that was the most recent data, and I specifically made sure to take off any other additional compensation pay because some cities do pay into retirement or health benefits. So I took my time to go into every city and the comparison cities that I shared with you are the same comparison cities that we utilize for salary increases. So I wanted to keep that consistent. Those are the cities that we use for negotiations with our bargaining units and whenever we're looking at salaries for management and mid-management. So the data, yes, it's from 24, but it does not include any other pay such as statutory benefits of health benefits or retirement, which some cities do pay into that. Oh, and one last thing too, there's a couple of cities that have a differentiation between the salary of the mayor and the salary of the council. So some cities pay a bit more to whoever is the mayor.
If you're a directly elected mayor. A directly elected mayor.
Oh,
So
okay.
just wanted to bring that up so that you're aware if you have to go back and look at that.
Erica, I hate to ask this, but how difficult would it be to go back and put a column in for example, other benefits that would affect the overall compensation, for example, medical benefits or retirement benefits into that same matrix?
I would just have to run the same report and just not take the data out.
Okay.
I mean, you just click on the link and type in the city and then it just,
And it spits it out. Okay.
yeah, and provides you the data.
And I did a little bit of research on that topic because we're going to have the conversation. So I'll just read to you here from the internet that I think is pretty truthful. Let me see here. Okay, so Santa Paula City Council, along with just their salary stipend, they have a monthly of around $1,700 as of 2021 for health, dental, and vision. In addition, with additional funds for premiums, allowing participation in the city offer programs like CalPERS or opting out for cash. Moore Park City Council members receive a monthly stipend, reported $600 a month. This is back in 2017, so it may have gone up, along with benefits like health insurance and pension contributions through CalPERS. Let me see here. Okay, it looked like about $27,200 compensation. That was sometime in 2022. Ojai City Council members' monthly stipend increased from $760 to $988. That was effective November 2024 election, approved by July 2024 City Council ordinance, aligning with the state laws. Okay, so this is interesting. In Port Hueneme, they have an hourly rate of $114 per hour for meetings. I just did some little calculation. I figured 20 meetings a year, like us, more or less, 3-hour meetings, 60 hours, about a compensation of about $68.40 a year. And then if we want to talk about Camarillo, Camarillo City Council members, like, I just went local. I didn't go per, size city, but I thought, let's look at our colleagues that we work with and go to meetings with and are in committees with. They receive, I think this is true, a salary. I'm not saying anything about Fillmore, but just letting you know what Camarillo is. $17,790 as of 2020, with approved 2.5 raises in 2023 to $18,235. Plus benefits like health insurance, and also I think they have CalPERS. So when I just did some Google work, that was just what came up. And so my input to that is saying, speaking as a council member who has seen a raise, I think that the point of the raise from again the state allowing to have these floors and then have additions is. And they do it, again, for every, or it's allowable when new council members come on. And I think that's purposeful in that it's helpful to not only us as council members, but it's helpful to potential future council members of diverse backgrounds to see that there's some incentive there to get involved in the community, and it is a lot of time. So my input is that was something that we consider to do in Fillmore, and just on the mindset of, again, not so much as us being more compensated for what we're doing, but on the idea of we want people to feel that they are, as being part of the community and giving all that time, that they're able to get a little something back that helps them and helps their families. That's my input.
Anybody else?
I just want to say thank you, Christina, for looking into that and really diving into what's current. And I know, and thank you so much, city mayor, and just to kind of look at what's been done in 24 to what's going on now, and just really exploring everything and really taking some deep thought into it. Because I do agree with John. We also want to, be fair, and we don't want to overcompensate, but at the same time, let's look about what their neighbors are doing, and so on and so forth. So, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Eric.
Yeah, and I think that was very interesting, because I thought I remembered that the chart had Ojai like at 300 or something. What did the chart have?
I can pull it up right
Yeah.
now. I think you're right. Hold on just a second.
Because that stuck out. I thought, wow, Ojai's only paying 300, and
Yeah,
then
$310.
yeah, and what did you say? It was like 900 and something. Wow. So
Per
they're
the
at the
internet.
max.
Let me see. Let me pull up my where I took this data.
And population in Ojai is 7,000.
Right.
Versus our 17,000 approximately.
Yeah, Ojai. Yeah, again, this is from the internet. Ojai City Council members' monthly stipend increased from $760. So, we could see what the number is, what it really is. But that's $760 to $988.
And I think the other thing that's interesting too is how many of them also offer health benefits, other fringe benefits. I would be open to that. I know when I was on the school board, there was no compensation. It was only medical benefits. But not that I didn't need them, but I thought it was a good way to compensate people if they did need that. So I would certainly be open to doing something like that, to seeing what it would cost to offer health benefits to the council.
Correct me if I'm wrong on this, and Manny, you would remember, but when I was back in 2014, or in that era, before we were elevated to $300 stipends, we were receiving
$75.
$75, and it had not been increased since 1964.
Wow.
And I looked at the resolution, so prior, I think that was around 2010 when it went to the voters, and it was through Measure H. And so it went to the voters so that the voters could decide whether the council could then move forward, if it passed, which it did, to set the salary to the minimum of what the state had set it at that time, which was what Tiffany was referring to in her presentation previously. But yes, you're correct, it was $75.
I just remember thinking, oh, this is an extra $75 in my pocket.
Well, and that was required because there had been a ballot measure in the 60s freezing it at $75.
Well, there were other cities that had a lot higher at that point in time.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But most cities don't have ballot measures on that, and they just follow what the state law is. But for some
Oh, right,
reason
okay.
in Fillmore, they decided to cap it at 75, and that's why it was there for so long. Yeah.
I was happy.
Yeah, you can do a ballot measure to increase it, which some cities do, and that might be why some of those cities, or they could be charter cities, why they have the really high numbers that Christina mentioned, but most just follow the state law. Yeah, yeah.
Mayor, you haven't spoken, Mayor.
I'm happy with our stipend that we got. We got a stipend last year, yeah.
Got a raise, yeah.
Yeah, so my opinion, I wouldn't be in favor of this, but
Of increasing.
of increasing the stipend. That's just my opinion.
And my question, if we were to look at benefits, would that be a higher, maybe possibly a much higher cost to the city than just giving a couple
Yes.
$100 increase?
Yes.
All right, yeah. Okay.
Approximately how much, do you know?
Be a lot.
It's about, the premium that we're talking about close to $3,000 per person, roughly. It's just a very rough estimate.
3,000.
And that's just what the city would pay. So in addition to that, if you're trying to insure a family, then you might have to pay premium in addition, add on to the pay of the premium of what the city offsets. And this is just a very rough number that I'm giving you, just based on what I recall.
Yeah. That being said, I hear what you were saying, John, but I would be more in favor. I wouldn't be in favor, I think, of going down that road with the city of that higher cost of premium, of covering health insurance or dental or even public employees' retirement. But I gave my reasons why I think an increase, especially, again, as we come into an election year, and again, I think we want to tell future council members how much we, as a city, value their time and their commitment to be a part of, again, not just the meetings we're here, but all the things that we're reporting on. And again, the things that I think all of us, even beyond our committee assignments, are doing. Whether it's researching legislation, having meetings with the public, doing videos. I know it takes a lot of time to do these things, and sometimes a lot of preparation. So that's how I feel. But I think a good increase on the stipend would be great.
So just some quick math. So if we went from the current 600 to the maximum that's currently allowed by the state, it's about $300 additional. So that works out to about $3,600. So that's about approximately what the health stipend would be. Right? Because
A year?
If you're looking at the
it's
increase,
300, so $300 per month is what we.
it would be an increase of $21,000 if you were
Oh,
to
so it's
approve.
$3,600 per month.
Are you talking about you're not talking about the benefits, you're talking about just the stipend itself?
Yeah, so what I was trying to do is, in my mind, get a good idea of a comparison.
So if you were to just set it to
Mhm.
the max today of what is it, 900 and?
It's roughly $300.
Yeah, it's $21,000. because we're offsetting what you're already receiving minus the increase, that's 21,000.
Oh, okay, but I was just doing a one per person
Oh,
comparison.
so then
So
that-
per person, 300 times 12, $3,600. So per person, the cost, you said the rough number per person would be about 3,000,
For insurance, that
For
would be
insurance.
monthly.
monthly, 3,000?
Yes.
Okay. That's good. I'm glad I clarified that. Thank you. Okay.
That makes a big difference.
Yeah, huge difference, yeah. Wow. Yep.
Does anybody want to make a motion? Or do you want to discuss further? or-
Yeah, we could just get direction, unless it's controversial and we need a motion.
I'm good with where we are.
Well, sounds like I'll make a motion, but maybe not go anywhere. I'll make a motion to research into an increase of $300. That's my motion.
Is there a second? Or a counter motion?
Just a question, why not a motion to increase it by 300 rather than doing research on 300?
Oh, is that where we want to go? So you sort of looking for direction to keep looking into it? Is that what you're looking for, Tiffany, potentially? Okay.
Or an ordinance to,
Okay.
the motion could be to prepare an ordinance for $900 a month to bring back, and we could get you, we could try to get updated information for the cities that we gave you the 2024 information to support that, or if you just want to talk about it more, we could get that information and talk about it more.
Okay, I think I might have support to get some more information to talk about it more, bring it back to council, what that would look like. Just really crunching the numbers for an increase. That's my motion.
Do we have to make a motion
Or
just is that all the information?
that direction?
Do we have consensus?
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay looking into more about
Okay.
updated rates and what everyone is doing.
City manager, Erica, do you join us?
I just wanted clarification on what that more information meant, because I don't want to come back with not all the information. So you want rates, you want benefits, do you want us to look into pensions? What exactly do you want us to come back with?
Who made the motion?
Well, my motion wasn't including any of that. It was just looking at a stipend increase.
Just stipend increase?
Yeah.
Want the information on what other people are getting to see how much cities are really spending?
Yeah, that would be great.
On
To have some
compensation?
new numbers.
Okay.
Okay.
So maybe just the fields that you omitted, maybe just add those back into the report, yeah?
So total, okay, so just to clarify, we're talking total compensation.
Right, that's what we'll get you. Try to get current,
Current total compensation.
right, and we'll see if they're contemplating increases that would take effect next year.
Okay.
And are you okay with the comparison cities that we sent you, or do you want us to look at those and then in addition, the county? The reason why I chose those are because those are our comparison for wages, and they're similar sizes to Fillmore.
I'm good with that, Erica. I think
Okay.
those cities are sufficient.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Erica. Thank you, council. Okay, moving on to item number 10 then, city manager verbal report.
Thank you, Mayor. Tonight I will hand it over to two of our department heads who will be providing updates. So I'm going to start with Assistant City Manager Manuel Minjares. He's going to be providing an update on our homeless encampment grant resolution, and also provide you on what has been happening with Turning Point case management and some bits that we have been collecting for cleanup down in the river bottom. So Manny, passing it on to you.
Thank you, Erica. Give me 1 second to open up. Sheet up here. I could just go off of memory here. So there's been a lot that's transpired over the last, I'd say, 2 months since the last time we brought an item before the board back in November when we signed the agreement with Turning Point to provide the case management services. So during that time, they've onboarded both of the case managers. And so they've hired one male, one female. Both are bilingual, and both will work out of the Fillmore Medical Clinic that's located off of Highway 126. As we mentioned before, the healthcare agency with the county has been nice enough to provide us with 2 offices for our case managers. And they started the case management services there on January 5th. That was just last Monday. So that was really exciting. And that same week, we had a meeting here at City Hall with the new case management team, their program manager, and actually another one of their staff members that provides case management for folks that have been incarcerated. And a lot of these individuals are homeless, so that really lines up with the homeless folks that we have down in the encampment. And it was also an introductory meeting with the homeless liaison unit. So they got to meet who are almost the entire HLU unit. I want to thank Chief Lalo for attending and for helping to bring the HLU together for that meeting. So it was a really good meeting. We got to talk about preferred methods of communication, the need to have the HLU unit go down with the case management team every time they go down, and the HLU team was very, very open to be available just about any time that they're in need of going down and visiting the site. So that was really great. In addition to that, we've also arranged for 2 small encampment cleanups in the month of December. We had 2 roll-off containers taken down to the site and filled up completely. So we got that done. And during that time, we've also obtained 3 bids for a larger encampment cleanup. And right now, we're currently working with the property owner where we have the majority of the encampments located on to get a right of entry agreement to make sure we do it the right way. And hopefully we can get that done within the next 30 days and do a larger cleanup down there. And meanwhile, having the case managers introduce themselves, getting to know the clients. And I'd say it'd be good maybe to provide a quarterly update if that's what the council is okay with, to let you know kind of the progress and to see, give you an update on just on how many, if we're able to move any out during that time period and get you some figures on what that's looking like and our progress out there. Any questions?
Manny, so one of the things I'd like to see is, I know that we have I guess a grant for approximately 1.5 million. I'd like to see, I mean, when we can, like a progress on the pay down of that, or how that looks going forward. In other words, because I know obviously you may not be spending it all at once. I'd just like to see the financial side of that as well. Okay. But that's great. I really appreciate the report you gave. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Manny, for the report. And maybe Chief Garola could speak to this too, but it was about the Arundel. Could you give us an update? I know sort of that area where we have our homeless encampment on that property, there's also the tall Arundel, and there was earlier efforts to maybe see about removal of that or cutting back of that. Just was wondering if that's anywhere in there.
Chief Garola, why don't you just give us an update?
Since this isn't on the agenda, it can just be like a brief update if we think there might be any council action.
Sure. So we did receive a grant through CAL FIRE. This is being managed by the local Fire Safe Council. That grant is divvied up into 3 different areas of the city. The first part of the city that was identified by CAL FIRE as the highest priority is to the north. That work took place this last spring. We cleaned approximately 20 acres of a 55-acre footprint. The next area identified is the area there along the Santa Clara River. The Arundel is part of that area that you're talking about, kind of the area known as Sunken Village. Heavy concentrations of Arundel. The majority of that property is within the county of Ventura, not in the Fillmore city limits, but it's a joint grant So the work that will be done in that area is, no boundaries will impact the work to be done. It'll take place in both city and county area. The area was hoped to have been cleared before October of this year, but there was an issue with the Army Corps of Engineers not being able to identify soon enough what high flood level was. So all the work to be done is above flood stage, where we don't have to worry about getting permits for all the endangered species animals that are down there and so forth. So the area that's identified for the work, it's already been identified. We just are trying to coordinate with Army Corps of Engineers to identify the exact boundaries. But pretty much everything that's around Sunken Village has been identified to be cleaned, just not down into the river bottom. And the work to be done is scheduled to be done before October of 2026. So that's the latest on the work there. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Manny, you continue or you?
Liz, or any other questions?
Anybody other questions?
Perfect. Thank you, Manny.
Thank you.
Then I would like to bring forward Joe Belomo, our Public Works Director. He has some updates regarding our park closures, well 10, and also potholes.
Good evening. So potholes, the trailer was delivered last month. We kind of got backed up by various items, storms, being the major item, several leaks, water leaks that took up staff time, and then staff vacations. So it wasn't a good month in December to get going on potholes, not to mention the actual storms themselves would have made it difficult. We're cleared now of some of the assignments, and we're going to be dedicating 2 to 3 staffs to go out with the pothole trailer starting next week. To start filling those, the about 100 potholes, priority potholes that we're tracking. We're aware the storms had created new potholes and caused some to get worse. So the plan is to run the crew in the trailer until it feels like we're on top of the priority potholes, and then we'll go into a maintenance mode where we're going out maybe once a month and looking for some new ones. Park closures started last week. We're focused on Shields and Dolores Day Park. It may have felt like we closed the parks longer than just last week. That was primarily because of the storms. The parks, especially Shields, is still very saturated. It's been kind of cool temps, but we're coming up in temps, so we expect those to be drying out pretty soon. As part of the work that we had planned that's now going to be pushed back since the fields are still too wet, is having the trees trimmed at both parks. We need to, because of the trucks and the weight that's going to put on the grass, we need to firm them up a little bit. So we're waiting for this warm weather to kind of, give us a little bit of a solid ground to cut on. At both parks, Shields and Dolores Day Park, we are removing and replacing the rubber and wood chip mix that's made its way in there, and replacing that with playground approved wood chips. At Shields, we're beginning our restroom renovations. We're pressure washing the old paint off the flooring. Currently, we're looking at options on resurfacing, but it may just end up being bare concrete, cleaned bare concrete, until we do our major renovation several years away. In addition to that, we're treating and sealing the rust around the sill line and ordering new partitions. The new partitions will unfortunately not be installed until probably March. We did our seasonal walkthrough with the softball youth organization and identified a few fixes that we'll be doing prior to the start of their season. Both parks are anticipated to be reopened February 1st. Well 10, today, I'm happy to report that we received two of our key permits from Ventura County. So the contractor and contract management staff was very excited to see those permits coming in. In anticipation of the permits and the progress that they've made on several of the submittals that they're required to submit, we had authorized the contractor to mobilize starting today. Today they installed temporary fence, and tomorrow we'll start seeing some of the heavy load mats being installed. This is to me going over and protecting some of the assets we have there at the park, such as the walkway and some water lines and whatnot. And then some of the remaining, or some of the heavy equipment will be falling in the remainder of the week. I anticipate issuing a notice to proceed to start on Tuesday, June 20th. Next week, that's next week, next Tuesday.
Joe, you meant January, not June.
I'm sorry, January. It was a J. Got the J right. The contractor hopes to install the conductor pipe and prepare the site for the sound wall panel installation. The first 24 hours per day drilling will occur on, is currently scheduled for January 27th through the 30th, followed by a zone depth sampling and pumping. The second and final 24-hour per day drilling is scheduled for March 4th and 7th. I don't know if you recall, but we were anticipating a week-long, 1 week long drilling over the weekends, including Sundays. It looks, if everything goes well, we will not be doing that. We're going to be staying within the week, likely Tuesday through Friday, and then they'll be packing it up for the weekend. If issues are found, or if the borehole looks like the integrity is not going to maintain itself, then that may change. But we're all very hopeful that we can stick to the schedule. So the second scheduled 24/7 drilling is going to be March 4th to the 7th. The contractor is scheduled to be done with the installation of well 10 and the deconstruction of well 5 by the end of April. This puts the overall schedule about 2 months behind. I'm working with the design team and the construction management team to make up this delay through the implementation of phase B and C. So I'm very hopeful that will occur. That concludes my updates on these 3 items. I'd be happy to answer any questions. All right, you're welcome.
Those were all the updates we have, so thank you.
Council will now move to closed session. We have several items on the closed session agenda. I need them.
Let's see, we have 4 items in closed session. 2 are for the city to consider whether to initiate litigation. 1 relates to ongoing litigation in the city of Fillmore versus Cooper, and the final item is a personnel performance evaluation for the position of city manager. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Council will now move into closed session. Attorney? We got four. We're good. What's that? I'm just putting on my sweater.
Okay, everyone now, look back.
After giving her a hard time, Jill?
I know, she's giving it back to me.
Yeah.
I can be seen on camera. Okay, council is resuming session, and council met in closed session on 4 items. Council asked questions, no reportable action. And we will adjourn this meeting. When's our next regular one? We will adjourn this meeting to our next regular scheduled meeting on January 27th, 2026.